From just when I started, I always thought that buying a display tablet would be amazing. It was somewhat of a small dream for me. And I finally got it. It definitely wasn't easy to buy it, but it had a huge discount. I had a really hard time choosing what type of one should I buy. I wanted to buy a 16-incher one, but I ended up watching quite a few reviews on YouTube, like everyone does before buying things. And the majority of reviews kept saying that you should buy a bigger one, especially if you're spending quite a lot of time on it. Just quite big reason for me, because this is kind of like my job, you know? And solely for those reasons, I bought the biggest one, which is 24 Pro. And by now, I sculpted 4 heads on it, and I will say it's probably too big for me. Maybe it's just me, but I enjoy sculpting on a smaller surface area than this. But this big screen doesn't go to waste because I split the screen into 2 ways. I take 2/3 of it for ZBrush and 1/3 of it for reference, so I have reference really close to me while sculpting. But if the smaller one would be cheaper and you can get reference on different screen, then maybe a smaller would be better. Another thing, my table is not huge, so the tablet takes majority of my table, blocks all the screens. I cannot see anything on my actual monitors. It's hard to fit the keyboard as well, and it becomes very cramped. Plug it in, and moving the tablet is quite a hassle. If I would be able just to have it on the side while it plugged in would be much easier, but having this huge tablet, always having to move it on the table while I want to work and take it away while I'm doing something else on the PC is quite a big problem. I don't think that this problem would be changed if I had a smaller tablet, but the bigger one is just quite much harder to transport. But without having smaller one, I cannot really say completely how would I feel about that one. And sculpting the first head, I became quite a hater for display tablets. It was much harder for me to get the shapes right. Changing the tools, changing the brushes, and getting things to work was much slower than on the regular tablet. I just could not get the result to be however I wanted them to be. I was heavily thinking that I should refund back the tablet, but everyone kept saying that I should try it more because I just spent 1 hour on it and I had a pretty negative view on it. On the screen you're seeing the first head that I sculpted, the one I hated the most, and I sculpted 2 other ones while not recording, and I'm gonna show you the last one a bit later. Now, after sculpting 4 heads, my views changed quite drastically. I'm not really hating the tablet that much anymore. I'm still not enjoying as much as I thought I will before buying it, but I think in time my views might change again. For now, someone who doesn't have display tablet, let me tell you 3 things that are quite annoying with it. So the first thing that you will definitely notice is your hand blocking the view on the screen. And it's actually quite hard to see what's happening, especially if you're not used to it. I like to sometimes sculpt on the left side of the head, and when you're sculpting on the left side, you're basically blocking everything on the screen. And if I want a nice and sharp line on the lips, it can be quite challenging to get that line in a way which I desire, because I just cannot see what's happening on the model. I don't know how you, but my eyes are quite sensitive as well. And sitting so close to the screen actually tired my eyes quite faster than sitting on the monitor. I like my monitors to be relatively far from me, so I played quite a lot with brightness and contrast on the tablet to keep my eyes not irritated for as long as I can. The nice analogy I could think of is when you have been a child and you go close to the TV and the parents keep telling you not to go and watch TV from that close. I kind of get the same feeling out of display tablet, but it does become easier to see better and smaller details because you're closer to it, and the drawing surface is much bigger, which makes it easier to get a finer detail. Another struggle of display tablet is when it's so huge and you're having a ZBrush or another program on a full screen, the drawing area and a tool area become quite far from each other. So if I want to change one tool, I have to move my whole body and my whole arm to another side just to click on something. Before having a tablet, I thought this wouldn't be a problem, but it slows the workflow quite drastically, and in the long run it just feels like a huge hassle. Now, I told you as before, I solved this problem while lowering the size of my actual program and fitting in the reference on a piece of monitor, and while doing that I don't feel as much of a struggle as before. This is the fourth head that I sculpted on the display tablet, and the last head till now. It's in a different style, more like an anime, and mixed with some other style which I wanted to try, and I thought it would be a great challenge for the tablet. And before you can see the result, I will say this: I did like what I got from the sculpt, and after finishing this model, for the first time I felt happy with the display tablet and the result that I got. I was finally able to get the result that I desired, and I love this style as well. Now, the week or two have passed. By this point, I have been doing a lot of other things, which you will see in the videos, if this one as well, which came out at the same time as this video. And by that, the time for refund had ended, which means I'm gonna be using this tablet for a while, and I hope I will have amazing and interesting sculpts. I really can't say or give you advice what to do if you want to buy the display tablet for now. I don't think I have used it enough to tell you what to do. If you have questions, you can ask in the comments and I will try to answer if I know the answer. I would probably feel much stronger against if I actually paid a lot of money for the tablet. My simple tablet is from Wacom, but this one is XP Pen, and if I chose this CNT Wacom display tablet and paid like 3,000, I probably wouldn't be speaking so calm right now. But if your budget is tight, I definitely wouldn't tell to spend your last money on a display tablet. The regular ones work just fine. I think in some ways they're even better. I'll try to keep sculpting on this tablet for a while. Hopefully we'll stream as well. And in the long run, for at least now, I feel like this is going to be a thing that will help me to switch up my workflow. If I get tired of using a regular one, I can jump up on this one, and that way keep working interesting. And it doesn't even cross my mind to only keep sculpting on a display. I'm definitely going to go back into the regular one. So if you have any more questions, you can go into my comment section or join my streams. I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you watch another one, and see you in the next one. Bye!